Hi, this is
Hel-
Ammiel.
This is Melissa. This is us from the future.
What you are about to hear is a very special holiday episode.
It was supposed to be released on Valentine's Day.
But like so many things in life,
Sometimes plans don't go as planned.
so please enjoy
This very late,
very sexy
very special holiday episode
of Click and Flick. I think we got it. Should we do another one just for fun?
Just for funsies, yeah. Ding ding, motherfucker. I'm fucking here to make you shit your pants.
Oh, slippery when wet.
Okay, Flipper, what?
Okay, Flipper. Flipper, I hardly know her.
So I thought it was rude that they Anne Hathaway, fucking Julia Roberts, because they have Jennifer Garner.
Yeah. Good thing they dyed Jessica Alba's hair blonde.
Yeah, thank fucking God. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
I'm Ammiel.
And welcome back
to season 2.
To season 2
of Clickety Flickety.
Flicking your clicks, man. We out here.
Every week.
Every week. Every Tuesday. Serenading
you.
Where
Can pick which click to flick and until you're sick.
Just kidding. You won't be sick. It's fine. You'll ingest well.
I meant sick like, not sick like
sick like cool.
I meant sick like Tony Hawk. Yeah. Not sick like you're ill.
Sick. Yeah. I get you. I follow you. We are going to be on the same schedule. Every Tuesday, we're going to upload our episode. And every Wednesday, we're going to start streaming.
Yeah, we'll be streaming live for everyone who's bored on a Wednesday night, like us.
Hell yeah. And if you love Avatar The Last Airbender, that's the topic we're going to
be talking about first. So show up.
Come join. Yeah, exactly. And
we'll be streaming.
And can't wait to see you there. It'll be a good time. You should show up and hang out every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. PST.
Yeah, we'll probably be streaming to YouTube or Twitch. So keep an eye out to one of those platforms, babies.
Exactly.
Actually, I think this episode is coming out the week that we're going to start streaming. So you'll know.
You'll know. You'll see
by the time this episode is out, we'll have made our decision.
Yes, exactly. All the more reason to follow us on Instagram. So
yes. So to our loyal fans out there, make sure you're heading over to Instagram and following us.
Yes. And I guess without further ado, you want to start off with the flick?
Yeah, we're going to jump right in. So today is a special episode day because obviously it's a holiday and it's a very special holiday. Well, not really. That's stupid. It's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day.
It's not really anything, actually. You still have to go to school and stuff, so I guess it's not that important.
It's not a paid holiday.
No. It's a you pay holiday.
Yeah. Out of your pocket, man.
So the movie is also Valentine's Day, which came out in 2010, starring more people than I can count. So I wrote out a list of them.
Isn't this Ashton Kutcher's first movie or first big thing since Pranked?
Oh, like after Punked?
Punked
went on for a long time too, so I bet you that this was even still going on during Punked.
Maybe.
But I know that he also did he did a bunch of rom-coms at first, right? Because he did Just Married.
Oh,
Dude, Where's My Car? No.
God, that movie.
Never mind. I guess that was his big break into the film industry.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right.
Before he made the hard turn to romantic comedies.
But I digress. I just thought about it. I was like, oh.
So anyways, this movie, if you haven't seen it, it's like a movie that has a bunch of people in it, a bunch of actors, and it's like every story is connected to each other some way, but there's going over so many people different stories. It's confusing. So I'm just thinking the best way to attack this is to like go by character and then say what happens in their story.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where to jump in.
I would start with the Ashtons just because he's like he's like right away.
So Ashton Kutcher's like a florist / barista.
I love it.
I
love the story arc.
Who owns a flower shop / coffee shop. And he is best friends with Jennifer Garner. And he's like, rewind, because he's dating Jessica Alba.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
So he dates Jessica Alba, and he like proposes to her, but Jennifer Garner's his best friend. So he like goes and sees her, and he's like, oh my God, she said yes.
Right.
And Jennifer Garner's like, I'm so happy for you.
Oh.
And then basically later Jessica Alba is like, changed my mind. I don't want to be engaged to you. In fact, I don't even want to be with you. And she tried to like unpack out of the house like while he was gone at work, but he came home to like see her for lunch or something.
Yeah.
And then got his heart broken.
Yeah.
But she's not really in any other part of the story, huh? She's like
she's fleeting for the most part.
Right. So she's pretty much only in Ashton Kutcher's part, but she's Jessica Alba, so
she's fine, man.
She's hot.
When I saw her,
you just can't get around that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jennifer Garner's really pretty too. I adore her.
This whole movie, everyone's like good looking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
even when I saw Bradley
Hollywood
Cooper,
baby. Even when I saw disgusting Bradley Cooper.
But when I saw him, I was like, oh wow, I'm more attracted to you in this movie than I was in whatever it was called.
Anything else?
Yeah. Well, I thought he was fine in The Hangover, but specifically this movie, I was like, oh, I like you again.
Yeah. He was kind of a sweetie in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Cooper's character is like so he starts out on an airplane, and he's friends with he's sitting next to Julia Roberts, and Julia Roberts is like introduces with like she's like laying on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was gonna make a joke that this movie stars the girl who is from Ocean's 12 who looks like Julia Roberts. But that's dumb, so I would never actually say that. So embarrassing.
I have stories. Don't worry. They'll come. They'll come.
So Julia Roberts is laying on his shoulder, and like the stewardess comes and like lays a blanket on both of them. But then he like tries to close the window with his foot, and she like startles awake. She's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry." But it turns out they're strangers, and she just like accidentally fell asleep on him.
Oh, wow.
There's a few times in this movie where an actor or a character has like a gotcha speech where it's like supposed to be this big moment that changes the hearts of the character they're talking to. And it really just doesn't, they don't really say anything significant. It doesn't land.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't land. They really don't.
So she's like this, she's just like, oh, I can read people. I can read people spot on. And he's like, oh, really? Read me. And she's like, a suit, but no ring. So you're serious, but not committed. I'm like, what does that mean? What?
Yeah, honestly.
That's a stupid, like, okay, whatever. And then she said something like, you let a stranger sleep on your shoulder, so you're kind, but also you just want to be needed. I'm like, that's a really big assumption for someone who literally just fell asleep on a stranger without their permission.
Right.
Like, I'm sure he wasn't like, oh, here, sleep on my shoulder. She fell asleep on his shoulder.
Right.
But gotcha. And he's like, wow, you really can read people?
Oh my god, my cheeks already hurt, dude. My cheeks already hurt. Oh.
I know. The thing is that, like, for real, I was like, I feel like I like laid into some movies really harshly in this, like in some past episodes, that I want to try and be positive. But then this was the first movie, and I was like, oh my god, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. With how many storylines it has, when it came out, I was in love. I mean, in 2010, I was in 10th grade, mind you. So I was like...
Yeah, I was like a teenager too, so...
swooning.
Yeah.
Over this.
I was like, wow, I just want someone to love me.
Right? Like, all of it is so... mushy-gushy, but...
But, who else should I talk about? Oh, and then there's Anne Hathaway and Topher Grace.
This is my favorite fucking storyline. It's my favorite.
So Topher Grace is like a mailroom man, and Anne Hathaway is like a secretary at the same office. And they like go on it's like their first or second date, right? Mm-hmm. They've been dating for like a couple weeks, and it's Valentine's Day, and they're like super cute, and they like super like each other. You can tell there's like a whole lot of chemistry. But Anne Hathaway is a like sex phone operator on the side because like she has a lot of bills,
She's got to make ends meet.
It was the recession, so
yeah.
So yeah, so she's kind of like doing that in secret on the side. And she is, okay, I'm going to try and put some of this map together because all the character stories, like, they don't intertwine at all, but everyone's like a side character in someone else's story.
Yeah.
But none of them actually are like related. But the office they're working at, Anne Hathaway is the secretary to Queen Latifah, who is the manager to Eric Dane. Is that right?
Yes.
Who's the football player? So the football player now, he's like, oh man, I had all this footballing to do, but then no one was going to let me. And then they're like, well, you better figure it out because this football ain't going to football itself. He was like, I just need a second to clear my head. They're like, you better figure this out, home slice. And the person saying that to him was Jessica Biel.
Oh my god.
Who was like his manager, and one of them was like his agent, or she was his agent, and then Queen Latifah was the manager, but he's a football guy, and they're like, well, you better figure out what you're going to do next season then. Whatever. And he's like, trust me. I want to figure it out just as much as you want me to figure it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want a family and a relationship.
Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Different time. It was a different time.
Yeah. He had to make sure not to be very gender specific when he described what he wanted.
Right.
Because Jamie Foxx is like a sports reporter who's trying to like report on him, and Kathy Bates is his boss, and she's like, you better get that football story.
Foosball. God, I love Kathy Bates. The fact that she's in it for like 10 seconds is glory to me.
Yeah. I literally watched this movie, and then as soon as it ended, I like started it again so I could like take notes, and her name came on in the credits, and I was like, Kathy Bates is in this movie? I'm like, I just finished it.
Right? Oh shit.
Okay, so Jesus. Okay, so then Jessica Biel. So then Jamie Foxx is like going to Jessica Biel's office, and he's like, "Give me that story. I want a football man in my paper."
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica Biel's all, "Do you hate love?" And she's like throwing a party about hating love. You know what? The Office did a better episode of an anti-Valentine's Day party.
They really did.
Kelly rips off the Cupid wings and goes, "There, now it's just a stupid baby."
I'm crying.
But Jessica Biel has a party too about hating love.
Yeah.
And like she's sad because none of her friends are going, so she's like, "Oh, Jamie Foxx, will you go?" And he's all, "I also hate Valentine's Day," and they're all googly eyes. Wow, we both hate Valentine's Day. And he's all, "Oh, I better go now."
Yeah.
And then so Ashton Kutcher's best friend is Jennifer Garner, and she also has a boyfriend named Patrick Dempsey.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a doctor, and he works at Grey's Anatomy as a heart surgeon. And one little thing, though, is he has a little secret that he's not telling her, which is that he's married with a family. Wah, wah. So he's like, "Oh, hi, honey. I'm pulling into the airport right now," aka his house with his wife and kid. And then he walks into his backyard, and the writers really, like, in case the audience didn't get it, right? The daughter's like, "Daddy, are you done fixing the broken hearts?" That line when she says that is just so...
I'm glad I missed that scene. Jesus.
Then the mom, then he like picks up some balls that are on the table and starts like actually juggling. So the wife's like, "Oh, isn't Daddy such a great juggler?" And I'm like, we get it.
We get it. It's bad.
He's juggling women. We get it. He fixes broken hearts, but it's ironic because he is a heartbreaker. We get it. Like,
right.
But otherwise, just like really good writing.
Real good. Spicy.
So Ashton Kutcher, so he goes in to buy flowers from Ashton Kutcher's shop, and he like cuts the line. Oh my gosh, the guy.
Oh, he did? Oh,
these guys in this movie are also like not considerate. Like in the very beginning, they're interviewing like one of the Asian like owners of the flower shop, and he's like struggling with English, and Ashton Kutcher comes up and like pushes him aside, and he's like, "I'll take over," and then just starts talking about his own shop, not like trying to talk about what...
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? Like, that's like kind of rude, right? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. He just like pushes someone out of the way and starts like marketing himself. Right. But he's a good guy. So so Patrick Dempsey then Patrick Dempsey comes and cuts this long line in the flower shop on Valentine's Day,
where they're chaotically busy.
Exactly. And he's like, "I'm a heart surgeon. Can I cut the line? Will you understand?" And Ashton Kutcher's like, "Oh, of course, buddy. I understand. You must be a great guy. You're a heart surgeon." And he's like, "Yes, I need 2 bundles of flowers, one for my wife and one for my girlfriend Jennifer Garner." And Ashton Kutcher's like, "Jennifer Garner, your girlfriend?" And then he's like, "And you're married?" And he's like, "All right, sir. Flowers right away. Let me get them for you." I'm like, you can not sell him flowers.
You totally could.
You could also be like, "Hey, that's actually, I don't like that, and that's actually my friend, so that's not cool. You can get out of my flower shop."
Right.
Sir.
Yep.
But I think that this is like just an example of how guys don't really call out other guys when they have problematic behavior.
Yeah. It's seldom in some like other movies or TV shows where they're like Because there's countless movies of this same scenario of them finding out the secondhand guy is like, oh, I know your secret now. And then they go and tell the girl, or they, just cliche shit. And it is so portrayed that he's like, well, I'm not going to do anything about that. As far as like to his face, like, I'm not going to do anything about that.
Right. Whereas like, I would be like, oh, wait, I know that name. That's my friend. You must be her boyfriend. Oh, wait, that's what's happening. This isn't cool.
And like, does he not know that Jennifer Gardner like is a part of that flower shop?
No, she is a teacher. So she was only in there to visit him. Like, she goes there to visit him.
Okay, so she was like a regular, because I thought she walked through the back and like, okay, well.
Yes, so she does.
Gotcha.
Because she's like, I'm best friends with the guy who works here.
Got it. Oh,
so she walks in like she owns the place too.
Got it.
But she's actually a teacher who is a teacher, and her student is like a little kid who is like, he like goes in the flower shop too, and he's trying to buy flowers for the person he loves, and Ashton Kutcher's like, sure thing, buddy, and takes his money and like whatever. But then like the kid's waiting all day at school, and his flowers never get delivered because like all of this, like, because the football guy ended up rear-ending the flower truck.
That's right.
So I will say that this movie too, I don't want to talk a whole lot about like how the problems of old movies, because
right.
But the typical like minority sidekick trope is like literally in every storyline of this movie.
Yep.
It's like frustrating.
It is so frustrating to watch and see with a new pair of eyes. It feels like, just because watching it in 2010, that was a great movie, and then now watching it, I'm like, whoa, yikes.
Yeah. I'm like, and even like the side characters are like people just randomly on the street talking. If they're like a minority, they're like over the top crazy, like doing something, and then it's just dumb. Like, it's so stupid how Hollywood is, but so the kid's flowers never get delivered. The kid has a grandpa and a babysitter. Okay, so the grandpa is married to this girl who's old. They're both old, and they're like, the grandpa's like, we've never had sex with anyone our whole lives except each other. He's like, I've only stuck this raw dog in one little hallway, baby.
This raw dog, no. Oh, I love that. Like, I love that this actor and also another actor in the movie, he was a side character, we're all in Princess Diaries. I don't know, like Anne Hathaway and
oh yeah,
he was the limo driver, and the other guy was like, it was the guy that does Mia's hair, the hairdresser guy, whatever his name is. He's a side character in this movie.
Oh really? Okay.
He's the airport attendant at Southwest. He was the airport attendant.
Oh, yes. Okay, now I remember. Now you're right. Oh, that's another thing that made me... Okay, so Ashton Kutcher's all... Oh, well, we'll get there in a second. Because... So, Ashton Kutcher's like, at first, she's like, go meet your boyfriend. It'll be so romantic. Fly out there. And then she's like, oh, should I do it? No, I won't do it. Should I do it? Okay, I'll do it. And then she gets a ticket, and then she like gets to the airport, and then Ashton Kutcher's like, no, I have to stop her because now I know that he's cheating on her. And he runs to the baggage desk where they check in luggage, and he's like, give me a ticket now. And he's like, sir.
Sir.
The audacity.
I know.
Go to the ticket line.
I know.
It's for luggage. Like, what is wrong with you, sir? He's like, you have to give me this. He's like, no, I can't. It's for luggage only. Please, you have to.
Okay,
he's like, let me guess. You're in love with the girl, and she has to know how you feel. And he's like, no, that's not it at all. If I don't get on there, and she's going to learn the hard way that she's really with a guy who doesn't love her, and she doesn't deserve that. She's like the sun. She's like a rainbow. She's like a fart that's coming out of my butthole on the 4th of July. And like, then he's like, wow, she's like the sun. I'll sell you a ticket. Like,
Christ.
You were... I'm like...
Can someone do this in real life and catch it in real life? Like,
didn't do anything. Wouldn't do anything. Like,
no,
why is he like, oh, let me guess, you're in love? And then he's all, no, I'm not in love. I guess I'm in love. Oh, wow, you're really in love. Let me give you a ticket. Like,
right. Oh, boy.
It's so frustrating.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he runs and he's like, Jennifer, don't get on the plane. He's married. And she's like, let me guess. You got broken up with today. And he's all, well, yeah, but yeah. She's all, you're so cute. Okay, bye. Gonna go to my boyfriend now.
Right.
She goes and she flies there.
I don't remember how she gets there exactly. I don't remember seeing her
because
on the
she's
plane.
Able to fly back again.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm gonna go see my boyfriend. But then she ends up seeing him at a restaurant. Oh, maybe she like is, I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, she ends up going and confronting him at a restaurant where he's with his wife. And she goes up and pretends to be a waitress. And she's like,
ding, ding, motherfucker. I'm fucking here to make you shit your pants. Like, that's...
And he's like, consider my pants shat.
That felt good. That scene felt great.
Because then I guess his wife figures it out at that point too. Is that?
I don't remember. I think
that right.
So
I think he ends up alone and sad. And then Jennifer Garner like goes to her friend's party, who's Jessica Biel, and then Jessica Biel was sad because no one was at her party. But then Jennifer Garner gets there like, I don't know, 3 hours late.
Yeah.
And
she's
like, thanks for my only friend coming. And then as soon as she gets there, like 10 other people show up. And she's like, wow, everyone is an asshole.
Rejoice, everyone.
We're here. And so then they all have like a shitty Valentine's Day party. And then Jamie Foxx comes in and he's like, hi, Jessica Biel, I'll be your date. There's a lot of J names in this movie.
Yes, there is. Mm-hmm.
And then, so then the kid is there and he's like, I love you. I want to give you flowers. And she's like, oh, sweetie, don't you want to love a girl your own age? Don't you have a friend that's a girl? You know what the best relationship is? When friends become lovers. And then the kid's like, you know what? You're right. And then she's like, maybe I should take my own advice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then she goes to Ashton Kutcher. And then they kiss, and then they're all, that's awkward.
That's real fucking awkward, yeah. We shouldn't have done that. I wish
that they ended it there, but they didn't because they went back and kissed again, and then we're like, we're in love.
Yep.
But the kid also has a babysitter who's Emma Roberts, and she's like, has a boyfriend that they want to have sex with together. That's why she's like, to the old man, she's like, we're gonna have sex with each other, and he's like, well, I've only had sex with one girl.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, so the boyfriend's like going home to her house on lunch and gets naked, and then the mom walks in her room, and even though she sees a teenage boy naked, she doesn't leave the room. She just stands there and screams in shock for like 10 minutes until he grabs all his stuff and runs out of the house. I'm
oh boy,
you couldn't like step out and close the door and let him get dressed? Like,
at the very least, like,
what is wrong with this grown woman? Like, to run in a room and see a naked boy and then scream, oh my gosh, this doesn't look good, oh my god. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't look good because you stayed in the room, you creep.
Right.
Like, So then anyways, Emma Roberts is like, well, it's a good thing we didn't have sex because I think we should wait. And he's like, okay, let's make out. But they're best friends with Taylor Lautner and Taylor Swift.
Oh, their storyline, dude.
Who is like, they also are, Taylor Swift lives in the same building as Patrick Dempsey. I guess that's how they also intertwine.
Mm-hmm.
But their story is basically that they're just like in love, right? They're just like romantic,
like
teenagers,
grossly in love,
like heartthrobs. Taylor Swift is kind of funny when she does her little dance thing because Taylor Swift is very like, throughout her music career even, has always been very open about not being a good dancer. So she'll be like she'll like show people like how goofy she dances, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have fun. So she's never afraid to like dance poorly and be like, yeah, I'm a bad dancer, which I think is really funny.
Embrace that shit, girl.
Yeah. Shake it off. But yeah, so I saw a shot. So anyways. So anyways, Queen Latifah is like, ends up finding out that Anne Hathaway has to like take sex calls to like afford to live.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne Hathaway's like, oh my God, am I fired? And she's like, no, it's fine. Just take my calls first. And I'm like, why don't you just give her a raise?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
Like, she's obviously struggling and you could very easily do something about that, but no, you want to stay comfortable.
Got
with
it.
Your $1 million bonuses. Got it.
Oof, God. It's hard out here for a pimp.
So then the old people are like, wow, the old man's like, wow, I'm so glad we've never had sex with anyone else. And then the old woman's like, well, actually, remember all those years ago when you were away for so many years and it was my birthday? Well, someone sent me flowers. And then he's all, oh yeah, I sent you flowers that day too. She's like, uh-huh. And, but this was Ken. And he's like, oh, Ken, my business partner. Uh-huh. Like, everything he's interjecting is to be like, make his own like pain seem more like, to make him more sympathetic. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I sent you flowers. Like, he's the perfect. She's like, well, I slept with him. He fucked me so good. I screamed so hard I couldn't resist. It was nothing like when I sleep with you. Your dick is crooked and small. I'm just kidding. I'll cut that.
I say keep it. Are you kidding
me? No, because that's not a bad thing. A crooked and small penis is actually still fine. It's still good.
It's all fine.
I feel bad about that joke, but
shapes and sizes, it's fine. It's not the. Never mind. Never mind.
It's not the tongue.
It's not the
what's
tongue.
Really important.
It's not my vibrator. That's not. It's more important.
If we're gonna want to get see. Never mind. So then he's like, you had an affair 100 years ago with someone else who's probably dead now. And she's like, I'm so sorry, it didn't mean anything. And he's like, oh, I think it meant the world. And then he's like, I'm gonna go on our date by myself, bitch.
Bitch.
So he goes on their date, their annual movie in the graveyard date. And he gets there and they're like, I'm sorry, sir, we're sold out. And I'm like, if you go every year, how are you not prepared for them to be sold out?
I know.
What is this? So then he's like, but I come every year. Then Topher Grace is like, I'll be your date, old man.
I got 2 tickets right here.
Oh, because Topher Grace found out that Anne Hathaway talked on the phone sexy. And he's like, I could never be with a whore.
I couldn't.
And, like, walked away.
Disgust.
He's all, shame.
Shame.
And then, so he's like, come on. We're just two good men who got fucked over by a couple of fucking whores. Let's go watch this movie in a graveyard together and think about how great we are and how shitty those slutty whores are. And then they go and sit down, and then they're watching the movie, and he's like, oh, by the way, that woman in that movie is my wife, because plot twist, she's a movie star.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, well, which explains why they're rich. But
true.
So then she's able to get in without a ticket, but probably because she's in the movie. So she runs in like this old-timey bathrobe.
Majestic ass bathrobe is what that is.
It's glittery and feathery, and it's red. And it's flowy, and it ties together. So you tell me that's not a bathrobe.
Right?
But she's like, old man, where are you?
People are like, sit down, Grandma. And you're like...
And she's like, I'm looking for my husband, whippersnapper.
After like...
And then he's like, wife?
A minute of this goes on.
Right, exactly. Because they really thought that it was funny. And then finally they meet up, and she's like, listen, I know that you hate me, and I know that you don't want to forgive me, but you're gonna love me, because when you love someone, you love everything about them, even them being a whore. And he's like, you're right, honey, I should have always known that I loved you because you were a whore.
I accept you for who you are.
I hope no one actually thinks that this is what happens in the movie. I hope everyone knows that I'm taking a lot of creative liberty with this dialogue.
As you should. I
actually think it's better my way. But
agreed. Basically
the plot, what she says is, you have to love me, every part of me, even the bad parts. Because when you love someone, you just have to love everything about them, even the shitty parts that you don't love. And you just have to accept it.
Yeah.
Period. End the story.
Yep.
And Topher Grace is like, wow, if you can love a whore, maybe I can too. And he goes back to Anne Hathaway, and he's like, I want you to talk to me dirty with that slutty little mouth.
I love that he bursts in. Well, he tries to be cute about it at first. And then she goes, no, I have a right to be mad right now. And I was like, fucking bingo.
Yeah. One thing that pissed me off was the part when he finds out about it, and she's like, well, he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to think about this. And he walks away, and she's like, well, you're going to call me? And he's like, I don't know if I can afford it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and then he turns around, he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Like, no, you said that.
You fucking meant it, dude. You fucking meant it.
That's shitty. You can't just say something that cuts really deep that you know is something just to be an asshole and then be like, oh, sorry. Like, that's out there now, and that hurt her. Like, that's a scar forever.
And you can't even say it wasn't my intention. You can't. No.
Because there's no other intention when you say something like that. That comes out of wanting to hurt somebody.
Exactly. Ooh, I hated that part so much. Ooh, there's a fire under my ass right now.
They always show it as being like, oh, it's okay because they were mad. Like, that still is not okay to talk to someone like that. Like, if you're mad at someone, that does not mean that you disrespect them or like belittle them like that. 100%. I just thought it was so awful of him.
Yep.
Who else is in this movie?
Can I just say, as someone who is literally, I have the same identical problem that Julian Solomita does. When Anne Hathaway, Sandra Bullock, and Julia Roberts are all in the same fucking picture, I'm like, So I thought it was rude that they had Anne Hathaway, fucking Julia Roberts, who they have Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner.
And I was like...
Yeah. Good thing they dyed Jessica Alba's hair blonde.
Yeah, thank fucking God.
Because Emma Roberts is even just like the... Oh, she's Julia Roberts' actual niece. So she's just like a mini version of them.
And I was fucked up for a minute. I was really fucked up. And then when I looked at Topher Grace, I was like, Tobey Maguire. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not.
That's not Spider-Man. That's Venom.
I was so fucked up for a second. And like, I know it's not Tobey Maguire, but like, my instinct was like, ugh.
Yeah. But he is like the Kirkland brand.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
So then Bradley Cooper and Julia Roberts on the airplane. So then Julia Roberts is all, that flight attendant likes you. I'm like, why would they? And she's like coming up to him. She's like, hey, I say justice for the flight attendant. I think that they did her wrong. Like they made her seem like this all, hoity-toity doty on Bradley Cooper, but she placed a blanket over both of them. Like she probably thought they were together.
Right.
But then later on they show her as being all like flirty with him suddenly. Like they steered her character in like the opposite direction.
Yeah, for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Just to make Julia Roberts be right about something again.
It's like the waitress in Twilight when she was like hitting on Edward. You're like, what is your point?
Yeah.
But you're right. Like why do you got to treat the air hostess?
Right.
Like that?
Especially in the beginning where she was nice and she was like, put a blanket over both of them to be like, oh, how cute they're together.
Yeah.
And whatever. I think that, so then Bradley Cooper ends up like, so then back to the football player. So he's like, I'm ready to make the announcement about football. And then he gets on the stage and he's like, attention news sports world. I'm not football. I'm gay football. And they're all right.
All right. And then his agent steps in. And his agent, which is Jennifer Garner.
Jessica Biel.
See, I'm fucking telling you. Then she steps in and is like, I'll answer those questions for you.
Yeah. They're all, are you a top, a bottom, or a verse? And he's like, I'm not the first one and I'm not the last one.
Is this a movie that they could like remake into like, is it going to be one of those movies that they like redo every like couple 20 years or whatever? Because they should.
That would be interesting. It would be starring all the Stranger Things kids.
Stop. Okay, so whoa. Okay, I'm not. I feel older than I should be. So then he goes back home.
He goes back home and he's like, "Wow, I just told the whole world that I'm gay. Can't believe it. Can't believe I'm gonna still be playing football with this gay ass." And then Bradley Cooper walks in the room and he's like, "I'm gay too."
You're like, what?
And then because when they get home from the airport, like Bradley Cooper, Julia Roberts, they have a little tit-tat on the airport, but basically they just are like friends.
Yeah. It was a story arc that went nowhere, basically, for them.
Yeah, it was just for us to be like...
Right. To throw us off the set.
At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just for us to feel like they were plot tools at the end to like bring more stuff together, which was Julia Roberts went home and was the little kid's mom. And, it's sad because she's in the army and can only be home for one day. Boo-hoo. And then... Bradley Cooper goes home to his football and he's like, we're both gay. Let's do it. Forever.
I wanted them to kiss so bad, but they didn't.
No, because it was 2010.
It was.
They literally had like every cut scene was some girl sitting on a random dude's lap making out for 3 seconds, and then they would go to the next love story, but they couldn't have Bradley Cooper and Eric Dane kiss. Once.
Sad fucking day. Goddamn.
I know, it's stupid. They should have showed them going all the way.
I I mean,
that would be hot.
2022 Valentine's Day.
This is the second episode in a row where we've talked about Bradley Cooper being gay.
Is that a sign?
I don't know, Brad. Are you ready to stop appropriating LGBT culture and playing gay roles when they could go to gay actors? Or are you going to come out and be gay? It's your choice.
I need to know. I need it.
So, I guess everyone turns out happy in the end. Because they're in love, and that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
I give this click. It's a flick. I give this flick. I give this flick a box of chocolates that you bite into, but every single one is just like dark chocolate coated coconut. Out of 10.
Fair. My 10th grade self would have given this movie like an easy 8 out of 10 flicks.
Mm-hmm.
But my 28-year-old self says, the box of chocolates is half eaten and has every chocolate in it that's left is those nasty nougat, but like gross citrus flavored dark chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Deceiving. And you don't know what you're getting. And then you bite into it and you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, that.
I think the main thing is with this movie was because not a single story could be a full story. They just had to hit the cliches and wrap it up. Right. So everything was just like
smushed together.
It was just like deep fried cheese.
It's a big melted stick of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, you know what? If we have enough actors in the movie, no one will care what they're saying.
You hit the nail on the head with that one.
Because every time Julia Roberts says something stupid, it's like, bam, there's Topher Grace. And then every time he says something stupid, bam, Jessica Alba.
Yep.
Bam, Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Bam, Ashton Kutcher. Keeps throwing you off.
Where are we gonna be? Exactly. Jesus.
All right. So
you ready?
That's Valentine's Day. Let's move on to the click.
To the click. This episode's click is Monster Prom. Funny story. I was given this game. I was gifted this game in the White Elephant Steam gift exchange that we do every year for Christmas. And I so badly wanted it because I had never really done a dating sim. And I was really intrigued to try it. And it was free, so why not? Beautiful Glitch are the developers and the publishers. There's one other publisher as well. Little indie game, and it came out in April 2018. So 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like kind of crazy to me that 2018 was like 4 years ago.
I know. I can't even wrap my head around it sometimes. And even with games, like, you know how you measure your life in increments?
Yes.
That's
so you're like, oh, that was while I was playing this game.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, 2018.
It did originally release on Steam, and then it came out a couple years later on Switch. And it's a 2D dating sim, so there's really no action. You don't really see anything. You're just clicking through responses. And the art style is fucking cool. It's really, it's Monster Prom is exactly what it is. So it's vampires, it's orcs, it's witches and ghouls and all kinds of things.
It's like kind of similar to Coffee Talk, huh?
Exactly.
As far as like the characters?
The art style is pretty similar too.
Okay.
Just a little bit more colorful in this. It's so just every character has its own like aura, and it's really pretty.
They're very like vibrant.
Exactly. Thank you. And in the beginning of the game, you have the option to kind of like do a quick story or do like a full long story. And the premise of the game is just to get a date and go to the prom in high school. And I did the quick scenario. I just started with the quick game, and it gives you a personality test in the beginning to find out who your character is going to be. And the writing in this game is so great. It is so good. It's definitely
better than the movie.
yeah. Better than the movie. It's rated R, definitely. It says fuck and sex and what would you fuck, and basically. It's cool. It's really cool.
So it's like Euphoria.
Yeah.
Ooh, just kidding. I haven't watched it. So
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard good things.
Yeah. I've heard it's like fuck high school.
Yeah. Basically. In the personality quiz, one of the questions is, if you could have sex with an animal, what would it be? And the answers, it took me off guard. I was like, what the fuck? But the answers, it makes sense as you go down them. But like the first one is, no one could make me fuck an animal. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay.
The second one was like a purebred horse. Their semen is literally worth like gold. Like I would harvest it. It's so bad.
Yeah. I guess if the horse isn't doing cummies inside of you.
Yes. Like, you fucked me up with that one. And oh god. The last answer, which is the one I chose, it was like, I'd fuck a dolphin because they specifically fuck for pleasure. And I was like, I mean, I like dolphins, so here we go.
Oh, slippery when wet.
Okay, Flipper, what?
Okay, Flipper. Flipper, I hardly know her.
Oh, I'm crying. God damn it. Oh, shit. Basically.
For the record, I would pick the first answer.
Why the fuck would you make me fuck animals? Like, who the fuck are you? No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like this, for lack of a better term, it's just this like fun, like stupid scenario in a whole different alternate universe kind of thing, right? Mm. And then there was a question after it that was like, gosh, shit, I completely forgot it too. I thought I wrote it down, but I guess not. But the personality quiz is basically just to find who your character is. And and every time you choose a choice, there's a face that says like, oh, so chill, or so fun, or so chaotic, or so evil. And you, and you have like stat points on the top right corner that just kind of tell you, as you play the game, you rack up those points. Like, depending on your choices, you can be more fun and less book smart or whatever.
Okay.
And in the short version, you kind of go through a week of school and you get to choose where you go each day. Like, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to go outside and play. I'm going to go to the auditorium or the library. And depending on where you go and what time of day it is, like, it depends on who is there when you go. So like a group of jocks could be there, or like I went to the cafeteria one day and you can choose which table you sit at, and you can see the people that are sitting at the table. And the first day I chose the witch table because I was like, I want to fuck some witches. That'd be cool. And they were all super chill, but they did not want me in their group. The second day I picked like the table with I want to say he was like a goblin dude looking guy and then an orc, and they got into a fight and they basically killed each other. I was like,
oh my gosh, they're high schoolers?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I mean, sadly, I guess that does happen a lot.
In this day and age, yeah, man, it's ridiculous. But it was super chaotic. It was a crazy game. I couldn't even like wrap my brain around most of it. Because I'm pretty sure there's voice acting, but I may have had it turned off. And that ruined the game experience for me because I had to read everything, and it would have been so much better if I had voice acting to it.
If they were like talking. Oh, okay.
But it's okay. It's fine. I enjoyed it.
I play games with my volume off anyway, so
right.
I typically just read it. I'm not because I always am playing my games when I'm watching something else in the background.
Fair, yeah. I feel that. It was a cool little game. I haven't gone back and played it through again, but because there's so many different outcomes you can have, like hundreds, I guess, which is super neat to me. I thought that was really cool, and I'm always into that kind of thing. Like, what's the next outcome gonna be? What's gonna happen? Yeah. And but it's a pretty simple game. There wasn't really like much story as far as like premise of the game, because you just kind of go throughout the week, and then whoever you really attach to in your little side dialogue is who you end up taking to prom. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you meet like other characters depending on your personality and the choices you choose and stuff like that. But I got stuck with this like preppy vampire chick, and she wanted to party all the time and like not use condoms, and I was like,
what?
I was like, bitch, like, I don't really like you. I don't want to go to prom with you. And I guess you can choose to go to prom with other people, but they can shut you down. Yeah,
it's true.
Strange, but
it's real life, baby.
Right? Not everybody's a winner. No, really?
Mm-mm.
My prom sucked, if that makes you feel any better. You spent all this money and you went,
but honestly,
shit.
It doesn't. Nothing will make me feel better.
That's fair. I was like, that's fair. I get that, but
I was homeschooled, so I'm a weirdo anyway.
You are Ammiel, and I love you for who you are as a human. I could have done without my prom experience, I'll tell you that much. Right the fuck now. But it was a cute game. I don't blame you for not looking it up, but I would suggest looking at the artwork at least.
I did look at the artwork.
Yeah.
I saw the pictures of the characters and stuff. I just didn't watch videos of the plot or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look like they're all just kind of like, they are kind of hot, you know what I mean? Like, they are good looking characters.
Some of them have mysterious backgrounds to them, and I'm like, oh, okay, I like you.
Like,
okay.
This guy, there's like this green guy in like a suit with horns and dark hair.
Just saying. Telling you.
Can I have your number?
Can I have it? It was a short game. There really wasn't a lot of meat to it besides like my own experience and what I went through. But if I had to rate it out of chocolate boxes for clicks, I would I would say it was a box of biscuits with chocolate on them. They're really good. They're like from Ireland, you know? They're good.
Oh, they're good, but
they gave me a tummy ache at the end.
Okay.
It leaves a little bit of a sour taste, but you know, you enjoyed the process, and when you look back on it, you're like, oh yeah, that didn't make me feel too good.
I think mine is like a box of chocolates that is still shrink wrapped and sealed and unopened. Out of 10.
That's okay. Out of 10. Beautiful. I think that that wraps it up for me. I didn't have a whole lot to say on that game. Besides, I would try it once. At least try it once. That's
okay. Yeah.
But
I like Sims games.
Me too. I think I like The Sims the most out of any other simulator.
Yeah, so. I think if we talk about The Sims, we're going to have to talk about like the whole history, like Sims 1 through 4.
Bro, take it back. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
In the future.
So anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's is the happiest times. Oh, wait, what does Strong Bad say? Valentine's is serious times? I don't know. Never mind.
If you indulged in chocolate, I'm jealous of you, but also congrats because treat yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself and love yourself. And happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Look us up on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Follow us for updates, stream times, episode delays by chance, and or releases. And I guess we'll catch you in the next episode.
Yeah, don't forget to send us your suggestions and also your biggest hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Sign it with love.
Yeah, because we love and we love Valentine's Day. Today was a fairy tale.
All right, y'all. Catch you on the flip side.
Goodbye and good night.
Mwah!
Peace out. Peace.
Real love.
Motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers. Bye.